Guten Tag, this is Dr. Blake Schuyler with the Medical Services. How can I direct your call today?
Beep, beep. Oh no, it's Aya. Hello. Yeah, you can sit in front. I'll jump in the back. Hello.
Blake, where is front
Hello.
to me?
Okay, alright. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to step out. I'm going to come to you. Alright, and then we are going to turn to 3 o'clock. If you walk forward, you can fail the ambulance. Alright, and then we're going to shuffle a bit more to our right. Yep, and
I
then
can
you should
feel
feel a
it.
door handle.
Yeah.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
So, I don't wish to alarm you or anyone else living in the property, but there is a full-on military compound right outside our front door.
I'm aware. I've been
Oh, good.
informed.
I'm glad someone knows, because I didn't.
I only knew yesterday.
You neighbours, should we say hi?
I probably wouldn't. There might be someone in there. They might start shooting at us or something.
Maybe bring over a bowl of sugar or something, and
Try and sweeten them up.
yeah. Housewarming present.
Bake them a cake.
Maybe a few
Exactly.
blankets.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's cold out there, you never know. Bambi, are we really doing this?
Bambi?
There's a deer that ran out in front of the ambulance.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. It's okay, I slowed down, we didn't hit it.
Could have had some fresh venison there.
I feel like that may have upset a few people if I had done that.
Yeah, very true. There's more of a humane way to do it. Go to the grocery store and just buy a piece of meat.
That's your definition of humane? Sure, let's go with that.
Well, shit, I didn't even see that Christmas tree and I drove right by here.
Yeah. A whole bunch of Christmas decorations and everything. Never seen Sandy so festive. Alright, we're gonna pull into Sandy now. We're gonna help out. We'll help you in, okay?
Okay.
Alright, now just being a little careful. There's a whole bunch of debris and cars around you. Oh wait, this isn't my ambulance. Okay.
Whose
All right.
ambulance did you pinch?
Matt's.
Oh, okay. You can pick
I'm
pick
using my
space.
outside voice. Because I'm outside. Okay.
Hey, did you not hear me, Aya?
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Alright, so we're
By the
gonna...
way, turn to your right. You're up against the car pretty much. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Alright, so
Walk
we're gonna...
straight a bit. Keep going.
You know what?
Keep
Matt's
going.
got this.
Stop. Left. There you go. Walk straight. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Turn left. Walk straight. Right. Careful, because you're about to walk upstairs now. Right, upstairs. There you go. All the way up. There you go. Right, doors just in front of you.
Maybe for some.
Maybe for
There you go,
most,
you're in.
Technically,
Thank you.
I'd say on
Ah.
average, Guten Morgen.
Sonia texted me. I think she's on the way.
Okay, good. Good. We'll give it another 5 minutes then for any stragglers.
I thought I had Sonia's number. What the fuck? I'm a dumbass. Oh well.
So how is everyone?
It was undesired effect.
I feel
Yes.
like death right now.
Why do you feel like death? What happened?
Hay fever.
Oh goodness. It's worse from last time you were here. It gets worse.
Come
Oh
on,
god.
give up.
That's-
This'll do.
You comfortable, Tegan, on the cold,
Yes.
hard concrete floor?
Lying on the cold hard ground. Trouble, trouble, trouble.
Alright, so I think Sonia is coming in hot.
Good.
She's coming and driving one of them little tiny cars.
I was meant to
Oh,
go just
skeet.
before I went to sleep, but I forgot to
Nice.
save it.
Pro tip on how to deal with tiny cars being driven into the hospital. When they get out, you can just drive them down the stairs at Pillbox, and it's very entertaining because they cannot get back up the stairs. They have to go all the way around. Not me parked in PD's car space, by the way, as well.
Tegan.
Fuck, am I locked?
There was, like,
I didn't want to
4
park in
people that
our
showed up.
space. I always park in our space.
Could the owner of a black and colored vehicle please?
Huh?
What's good?
What's really good?
Oh my god, none.
Okay, that whatever that is isn't really good.
Hi.
Hi, I was just like,
Hi.
what are you laughing about, huh? What's so fucking funny, huh?
I'm about to have a joke moment. I just feel I'm gonna snap.
That's normal. How your jumper matching your hair so good that it looked like you had the world's biggest polo neck on?
I don't know.
Turtleneck even. I said the wrong word.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what I meant.
Uh-huh.
8 miles of neck. You're a giraffe, Sonia.
Hey,
I don't think that's
can
the noise that they make.
Zoo come over and stand in the corner? He's good.
He's welcome to join.
Rizzo,
Yeah.
kitty, come on. Get inside.
The more the merrier, really.
He's an honorary EMS when we're all off duty.
Wait,
He's our
what's the
EMS.
thing on his
boy.
chin? And why is it there?
Hey, you leave him alone.
I leave him alone. I'll bully that facial hair.
Put it away.
Put it away.
Put it away.
Put it away.
I won't be held
hands up.
responsible for his actions.
Don't pick on his facial hair, okay?
Alright, hold on a minute. Okay, I was very concerned about what I was about to do.
What?
There we go. It's fine.
I was concerned.
Yes, me too.
Hello,
Yeah,
good
it's,
morning,
uh,
everybody. You want to know what's been going on for the last...
the engine driver?
What?
Skirt.
Jordan?
What? I'm sorry. I'm a minute out of my
Hello.
head, so I have the
Hi, it's Blake. Great. Great to have you. I was thinking we'd go me, you, unless you want me to just go for it and you're just too tired.
A little bit both, and I also have to be very quiet, unfortunately.
Okay, that's fine. Alright, I think this is going to be everyone. I will just quickly check our radio. Radio is looking silent. Okay, great. I think this is everyone. Alright, hi. Hello, everyone. How are we doing?
Like
No, I wanted to be awkward and like have an oblong or something. I
Yes.
don't know.
7 o'clock in the morning, how do you think I feel?
And
Shit.
the usual morning lineup.
After yesterday, yeah, same.
I only got 4 hours of sleep.
Why did we only get 4 hours of sleep? What's up with that?
Because it turns out a circadian
Uh-huh.
rhythm is a thing. And you kind
Oh,
of just
really?
wake up at the same time every day.
Ah,
And you just cope
Wild.
with it.
ah. Okay. So we got a few things to talk about. Hopefully it won't take us forever. A lot of these are probably looking around them real quick. Topics we talked about last week, so a little disappointing that they've come up again, but we'll go through it nonetheless. So I guess the main one and the big one is respecting your chain of command. We've been having a lot of issues with this. There's been several complaints that are not making it up the chain for whatever reason. If you have an issue with another member of staff, you follow your chain of command. If you have an issue with an EMT or a paramedic, you can take it to a senior. If you've got an issue with a senior, you can take it to us. If you've got an issue with us, you can take it to Feral, BJ, or Cricket. If you've got an issue with Feral, BJ, or Cricket, you don't have an issue with Feral, BJ, or Bigot because everyone loves Feral, BJ, and Cricket. So yeah, if you have a problem, take it to the next level. If you have if you have a problem with one of us, you can speak to, say for example, you've got a problem with me, you can speak to Shauna or Aya, and vice versa, and vice versa. All complaints that come to us are kept confidential. So if you're worried about someone being a snitch, don't. We will keep it as tightly sealed as we can. if it relates to something like a criminal investigation or something of that nature, obviously we are bound to divulge as much information as we can to the relevant authorities. That being said, if we find the chain of command is not being used, and people are just bitching and complaining, we will start having more pointed conversations, and they won't be pleasant. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So moving on to our training. So training is going really well. For I guess all the FTOs in the room, which is I guess the majority of us. Thank you for all your hard work. Really great work from you all. Remember, trainers, if you've got concerns, please bring them to us to deal with. If you've got problems with trainers, again, please bring them to us to know, realize and appreciate not everyone trains the same. Not everyone has the same method of training. It can differ and potentially cause issues. So let us know if they are occurring. With the recent weeks, understandably, we've had a lot lower staff and a lot lower trainees, but everyone's really making do with what resources they've got. So thank you all for that. Any questions or comments on training before I really push on?
Yes. What's the problems with trainers?
No problems with trainers. It was just if there is a problem, please let us know. But from what I've heard, there have been no problems. But I will pass to Shauna and or Aya if that is not the case.
I've not heard of any problems. It's just if there is any problems. Trainers are being awesome as usual.
That includes you, Sonia.
Well, I can't remember the last time I trained. It's been a while.
It's still awesome. Take it.
Take a compliment.
Okay. Yeah, take the goddamn compliment. So our next topic is around PD, and it's great that we've got Rizzo with us. Thank you for joining us, Rizzo. We will love you.
Oh,
In trouble. No, get over here. Don't you leave me hanging.
So when we are broadcasting to PD, when that need eventually arises, please, for the love of God, keep it clean. We don't know what's happening on their side of the fence. We don't know if they're in a 1080. We don't know if they're really needing to use their comms to close in on an individual. They could be handling a 1013 for all we know. So, look, keep it clean. Remember to hail them. If you're not getting a response, there's probably a good reason for it. If you're not getting a response and it's urgent, send out a text to the police line and they will get to it as soon as they can. Likewise, if you have issues with PD, please try and get a badge number, get a name, bring it to us, bring it to your EMS command, so then we can have a conversation with their PD command and try and figure out what's going on. If for whatever reason PD are leaning on their radio and are accidentally broadcasting to all channels, it happens. There's really no need to get all antsy-pantsy about it. The highest ranking person will let PD know they're transmitting either via radio or via text message or via direct phone call, whatever is the least intrusive at the time. Whoever is highest will also put a text in the ammo line to let the rest of medical know that they are reaching out, so we don't suddenly have all of medical basically piling on and letting PD know that they're broadcasting. We don't need that. We don't want that. So yeah, once that text is out, don't text the PD line. Don't add on to it. It's unnecessary and it only causes more heartache. I will pass to Rizzo if you've got any additional comments you want to add from your side of the fence.
I mean, I got nothing. I mean, just also keep in mind that the sus medical still. If it looks sus as fuck, just give us a minute to roll down there.
Yeah.
Still, and then we're calling, like, some of us will go to the medicals and we'll, like, if we notice like it could look kind of sus but not really, just if we call it, just give us a sec to check it out before you just waltz on in.
It's much better to be safe than sorry. So if you suspect it's sus, trust your instinct. It's probably sus.
Yeah.
Call it in, wait for them to clear it out and give you the code 4 to roll in. Okay.
Oh, I got nothing
sorry?
other than that. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I will open it up to any other questions or comments that anyone else has. Take the resounding silence as a no. We'll move on to our next topic, which is around professionalism. So, it being Christmas, we are a little more lax on our dress policy, so you guys can have all good fun. But remember, it is still a professional workplace. Try and keep it professional with the dress, and you're making sure that you're wearing things that are appropriate for work. So no jeans or leggings or that sort of thing. Don't go over the top during the Christmas period. I realize it's quite easy to do. I enjoy a laugh as much as the next person. But there is a line, and we just need to be aware that that line exists and we're not crossing over it. In the same vein, with the Christmas season, I would just ask, let's not be horrible to one another. We are a great department. We're a great service. Be kind to one another and treat each other with respect. I'm not asking, to be BFFs with everyone. I will certainly understand and appreciate there may be some personality conflicts, there may be some other conflicts, etc. If it gets too much, if it gets big, if it's starting to really heat up, please, that is a sign for you to come to us and let us know so that we can do what we need to do to mitigate any real drama. But also treat that person with the professional respect that they deserve as well. The other thing is we've been noticing over the last couple of weeks, there's been a few questionable tweets that have gone out. Not all of them professional in the way they are worded. Just remember that at all times you are representing the department and you are representing medical. So if we notice, say, for example, an attacked character, we might be pulling you into a room and having a conversation about off-duty etiquette. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Oakley dokley. So we lightly touched on it. Radio comms and silent dispatch. Keep your silent dispatches short. For the love of God, please don't write War and Peace. We don't want to read War and Peace in our silent dispatches. Keep your radio comms short, simple, to the point. And just remember that the highest on duty is responding to PD radio unless they are busy, occupied, say 10-6, 10-7, etc. Just a footnote here as well on certifications. If anyone has anything they're wanting to make a certification, any ideas, anything that people think would be cool, they are more than welcome to put those ideas forward and we will review them. Obviously can't guarantee everything that's going to get the green light. We are in ways limited to what we can and can't do, but we'll take everything under consideration and see what we can make work. Events, just a bit of a heads up that tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Los Santos, I believe there is a boxing match or boxing tourney.
It's a
It's
Friday.
tonight. Yeah,
It's,
it's
it's
today.
today
Tonight.
now.
At 4
Oh.
p.m. Eastern.
It's at 4 p.m. now. Look, there's something happening. All I know is it's being run by Kyle Geo, I believe. So he's just put a call out for any medical staff that happen to be available. If they could help out, would be great. So yeah, if you're around and in a position to help out, please do. Okay, so we really kind of did a speed run on this. Is there any feedback or recognition to anyone from anyone that we want to recognize?
The Hero's been doing a pretty good job with, pulling the shifts that we've been able to with the numbers of people either going back home on boats and stuff. The Hero's been doing a good job considering.
Yeah, no, a massive call
good to
out
see.
from Sean and myself and I for those who have been pulling hard yards and really pulling their own weight when it's been really, really hard. A big thank you. It's certainly appreciated. I know PD certainly appreciate it. It's one less thing they have to worry about. So yeah, anyone who has been helping out, a big thank you.
Yeah, big shout out to the crew that we had last night. So Tegan, Matu, Maury, Emma. We had that whole situation down at the docks where Tegan and myself were down there helping, and everybody else was kind of monitoring the city in case there was any other rogue medicals.
Yeah, for sure. Can't believe the FBI, the FIB were being spicy. Good God.
So I'm not going to go through the list of names because there's way too many to list. But a lot of the troopers in the state police have been awesome and amazing and been helping us out. I really feel like the cohesion between the two departments has been probably closer than ever. So I'm really happy with that. So big thank you to all the troopers who have been assisting us throughout the last couple of weeks as well. Did anyone have anything else?
Question.
Yes,
sir.
hello.
With Pillbox,
Yes.
what's the deal with that now?
So
It's back.
it's back. It's reopened. We haven't made any formal decision as to where EMS is staging out of.
Right.
We haven't had that conversation with our superiors. So until I guess we hear otherwise, until I guess we have the conversation with Beach, Cricket, and Feral as to where they would like operations to run out of, it will continue to be central at this point in time. But I would not be surprised if we're making the move back to Pillbox.
Yeah, majority of us were at Pillbox last night.
I'm pretty sure that everything is supposed to default to Pillbox, and the only reason people were other places is because Pillbox was closed and it was like a loophole. So I'm pretty sure it should be Pillbox. I would say 99.9% of people are gonna work out of Pillbox again.
Yeah, I would be willing to lay money on it, but I've not heard anything from those three, so I'm not wanting to speak for them. But yeah, I think that would be a reasonable assumption.
Unprofessionally speaking.
Here's my issue with this. Right, is we could redirect to Central when we bring medicals in or anything or 95 shit like that. But the issue I have with this is Pillbox is way more how do I say this, controlled as far as us bringing 95s or medicals in, because that way when we get out we have some sort of not protection, but just
lockable doors.
Lockable doors and gauge of areas.
That's what I was gonna suggest is start to talk to the trainers, the baby EMS that had no idea when Pillbox was shut down. They won't know to bring 95s on the bottom. instead of up on the top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another thing too.
So-
And that if we're gonna do pillbox, I need this to be stressed that medicals need to go through the bottom.
Yes.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep.
Trainers need to make sure to remind people where to direct the 95s.
Is that even written anywhere?
No.
No,
Eh,
it's
No, it's
not.
more of like a given.
Why
just
is that not written
because-
somewhere? If that's a
Because
thing, because I had
it's
no fucking
unspoken.
clue.
It's an unspoken rule. Well, it's a spoken rule, right? And usually we do it, but then there's once in a while when we have EMS that just come through the front. Then next thing you know, I got a goddamn shit show going on.
It's one of those things I'm trying to recall. So take what I say with a grain of knowledge, grain of salt. We did. I could have sworn to you we did have it written down at somewhere at some point.
No,
But
the
I
only
think it's one
time
of these things that
I'm
we've
pretty
been
sure it
so
used to be.
so back and forth about. Maybe there was at some point that we got rid of it, but I don't know why we would have.
the only time I can remember it was written anywhere is when we were bringing up the meetings, or it was somewhere on the email chain. That was it. It was never in on our training notes at all.
Certain I put it into the SOPs at some point.
I don't remember
How
reading
with
it.
The newbies,
Oh.
the new EMTs.
Pretty sure I
that don't
remember
know
reading it
pillbox.
when I was an EMR.
Okay. Look, it's a moot point at the
Yeah.
moment, so there's really no point debating over it. But if my suspicions are correct, and like Tegan says, I think there is like a 99.99% recurring chance that we are moving back to pillbox. We are definitely going to stress the point that if you've got a 95, if you're transporting anyone in custody, they need to go through the back, and you need to wait there until you have a PD escort.
So here's my next issue then is that if there should be then people until well, I mean, there's not much you can do right now, right? Because
Yeah.
if we could go to Central, like we don't care, but like if we go to pillbox, we also need people staged at pillbox, like doctors, at least 1 or 2 doctors.
Yeah,
and
no, the
EMS.
doctors are they're moving back to pillbox. They don't
Okay.
like Central. So the idea behind EMS stationing at Central was just to separate, and so you guys could see who was on duty. So like the
Right.
doctors would be stationed at pillbox, and then we would station down at Central. So if you guys look on your GPS, you would see that, oh, there actually are EMS on duty versus all of us standing at pillbox and you can't tell who is who. And like if you guys see one of us moving to a medical, you'll be like, okay, there is an EMS coming, versus all of us standing at pillbox and not knowing who's moving and who's not moving. That was the idea of EMS stationing at Central. But the doctors are going to be at pillbox. We will be bringing the medicals to pillbox.
Okay. I have one other thing to ask.
Yeah, sure.
Well, 2 things. First of all, permission to speak freely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Is there any way that with like sometimes with how EMS like are around, how many are around? Is there any way to possibly have EMS stay closer to the city sometimes? Because there's been a couple times, and this is probably me being a shit about this. I apologize. But there's been times where I've had medicals down in the city, and we've had to wait over 5 to 10 minutes for somebody coming down all the way from Polito.
So
And here's my issue about this, right? It's like, okay, one's like an MVA, right? But then when I got like people bleeding out, the next thing you know what, I'd look at, my GPS and EMS are all the way up in Polito, and now we have to sit there and wait. Well, we could probably just move them.
I actually have an answer for you on this. I know I shouldn't because it's out of place, but I do. There is a small miscommunication somewhere along the line with regards to where EMS needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I had a discussion with Aya about it, and some of it was cleared up, but then it was further cleared up that the thing that people had been told had been misinterpreted slightly, and so EMS should tend towards the city because that is where most medicals are.
Give me a
Obviously, with
second.
pillbox being closed, people have been a little weird about it.
Why not?
He's gone.
I'm sorry.
I don't
Oh.
think that's an unreasonable request. It's something I've mentioned every day that I've been back, is that I don't
So-
enjoy that people are outside of the city.
So
They
I'll-
need to be in the city.
I will say this. I understand that you may have EMS up at Polito. Bearing in mind they're doing community outreach. They may also be doing community outreach.
Which I have no
Also
problem with.
be aware that at one stage we were stationing out of Sandy, so a lot of people feel
Yeah.
comfortable with Sandy being their home, to say the least. I will also say that it is quite common for PD to radio before 5 minutes, and that leaves a lot of dissatisfaction with PD because it makes them feel, it makes EMS feel like we're supposed to have rocket boosters on our car, in our ambulance, to get down to where you are. And it's not just 1 or 2 troopers, and it's not 800s or 900s. It's 500s, it's 300s, it's command. So, and these issues, I spoke to Bryce regularly, week on week. These issues have never come up with Bryce. And so these issues that people are experiencing are clearly not being communicated up the chain of command to your chain of command in order to try and get them fixed. So
I wasn't trying to make this like a bad thing. I'm more concerned that like there's one, like let's say there's one, we're all the way in the city. Well, now we gotta wait. And I mean, no, I'll take fault if I've like fucked up and not waited 5 minutes. But at the same time, too, it's like I know you guys have a long way to trek all the way down from Polito all the way to where we are, right? And then the other the other issue sometimes I have is that we'll have doctors at Sandy but not at Central.
that is a department that you will have to talk to Chris Hale about. But I also know that there was a push for doctors to be stationed everywhere because the doctors shouldn't be confined and Sandy shouldn't receive medical focus. Why are we denying Sandy medical focus or Polito medical focus?
So no, I mean
I'm gonna speak very freely here, because no fucker is ever there.
What, at
We need to
Sandy
be
or
where
at
people
Polito?
need us. Yeah, people
I
aren't
agree.
there.
Yeah.
People do come to Sandy. This was quite a common hot spot when it was EMS stationing out of Sandy.
Right.
A huge.
Was. There's not hardly any MCs up here anymore. We don't have a lot of traffic up here. During these hours, more medicals are down in the city than there are up here.
But I also know there was a disconnect with some of the doctors. Bearing in mind, I am not speaking for PHS. I'm speaking for those doctors that have come to me and talked to me and told me they are unhappy with some of the things. We had a huge push at one stage for doctors to be able to go and station where they like. Ryder used to station up at Polito. That may change now. But I am also not I speak about what individual doctors have told me. I have told them to talk to their department. Doctors are not EMS. We cannot fix their problems.
No, but we can also hear what other people are saying, like PD, and we can take it to command where it is set. And then we can get them directed who they can talk to.
I have
I'm-
informed Bryce a couple of weeks ago that any doctor problems, any nurse problems goes through Chris.
I think a lot of the intent behind the idea was to try and spread people out and not feel like we're locking them in a room for 3 to 4 hours and making them go stir crazy.
See,
Again, the issue was that once Pillbox was closed, that was the sort of loophole thing I was talking about. There was direction. It was, there is an incentive to primarily staff Pillbox, and when it was closed, no one changed that, and so it was just go to the wind. And I also know I know what you're saying. Like, doctors do feel like they're stuck at Pillbox because I've been there. We've all been there. We've all been stuck in the hospital for 12 hours and not been able to leave. But it's kind of like, do you care?
It was also a decision not made by any chief or anything. It came from the top of the hospital.
Yeah, I remember there specifically being an announcement when Pillbox closed that doctors were allowed to station at any of the 3 hospitals.
Yeah, it's definitely a since Pillbox. That's definitely more of a since Pillbox closed thing. And that miscommunication from the top of the hospital is what I was talking about.
here's my issue with this. Okay, this is all I was just saying. Is there any way to have them to the city closer, a little closer? That's really all I was asking. Because I mean, I don't mind also bringing them up all the way to Sandy or Polito, but then there's gonna be issues of, well, why didn't you just wait for us?
Well, like Pillbox just reopened last night.
Right.
So they have to, like, Chris wasn't on duty last night. So he has to come on duty. He has to talk to his staff and say, okay, hey, Pillbox is open now if you guys want to station there, which majority of them most likely will, because that's where everybody was last night.
As regards to how it pertains to EMS, there have been a few times when I've come on duty and the one EMS that was on duty before I came on duty seemed to have been stationing out of like Polito. It hasn't happened very often, but that would make sense to be something to discourage if there's not other EMS staging down in the city. Try to stay closer to the city unless you're having to head up for a medical.
But still do community outreach, because I know there are some people that do not do that if they're the only EMS on duty. They actively discourage themselves from doing that.
Yeah, I was literally told last night by someone that they were doing their rounds and they came back to Central and there was a bunch of EMS standing there and they asked them, well, why are you guys not going around and checking everybody? And they're like, well, what's the point? Because nobody's awake. That's unacceptable.
To circle back to you, though, Rizzo, I think what we'll do is we'll have a conversation with the heads, definitely take your feedback and concerns on board and see if we can try and work something out that helps you guys, because I definitely understand the concerns. A lot of crime happens around the city. There's a lot of violence that happens around the city. It makes sense to have that rapid response. So we'll definitely see what we can do in that space to try and, take that feedback and concerns on board.
Right.
But also regard that you are supposed to raise these issues through your own chain of command. Because if I'd been aware that this was an issue beforehand, from talking to Bryce, then...
This was more of a question. That's literally all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the answer is we don't quite know. And obviously there's been changes and there's been a bit of miscommunication along the way. And now with the Pillbox reopening, we're not quite sure what, if anything, changes. I think we can be reasonably confident a lot is going to change, but we don't know for certain. So what I'm thinking is probably a great idea is if, say, Shauna and myself and I get together with either Beach or Cricket or Feral and go, look, now that Pillbox is opened, blah, and just basically vomit a whole bunch of things to them and try and get a concrete answer. And then what we can do is then go back to you guys and go, look, Pillbox is now open. This is what it means for you. Any concerns?
Okay.
I think that's going to be the best plan going forward. unless you've got any alternative plan you would like to put forward.
I mean, it's just more of just like, okay, like I agree with the community outreach and shit in Polito and Sandy, but if one lone ranger is up in north and then there's several shit popping off in the city, then it's like.
So here's my
it's a
problem with
no-brainer.
it. Here's my problem with it. We have somebody that was being targeted, right? And yet they were not staying anywhere close to the city. That brings a hard strain on PD to keeping track of that person. If they're all the way up in Polito, things can happen to them.
Yeah. I would also, to a certain point, question the logic of trying to clock on duty and, be a public figure while you know that you've got, I guess, a bounty on your head.
Right. But okay, so that one right there does another thing. If it was, for instance, me, if I had a target, I'm not going to be afraid of doing what I want to do, but I will be cautious about it. I would let PD know. I probably would have one of them right along with me.
Yeah.
If they were willing enough to spare a trooper. If not, then don't even go on duty. Because not only that, you're risking your own staff's at risk because they're going to feel like they have to intervene and protect you.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly understand the wanting to help out, but I think you've also got to question your own personal safety at that point as well.
No, I agree. I don't believe in taking that kind of type of risk.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a tough one. But like I said, it's a judgment call, and you need to take all these things into consideration and really ask yourself the question of, is this risk worth it? There's a whole bunch of extenuating factors to put into the equation as well. I don't think there's a real clear yes or no, black and white answer to something like that. Okay. So,
bearing in mind, this is
trying to
also the
bring-
same PD that actively discourages us doing double badging. And yes.
Wait, what?
Yes. Yep.
Since when?
Do you mean when there's only 2 EMS? Or
No.
just in general?
In general.
Since when's that been a thing?
Had a conversation with a certain trooper who then told us that we should not be calling double badging.
Okay, a trooper or a lieutenant or a master trooper or a colonel?
master
What are we
trooper.
talking about? Oh, they ain't shit.
Well,
But
they don't.
They have a
don't
lot
tell
of
us.
influence.
Well, you
So
know what
they
you're
don't-
supposed to do with that.
But that's the thing. They don't. They can't tell us what to do.
Then that needs to be. I think that's where viewpoints have become muddled. So we are okay with that. We're being told not to. See where we are in a catch-22? We can't do things right. We can't do things to keep our own people safe.
I'm pretty sure that master trooper is speaking a little bit out of line, and you said it yourself. You know what you're supposed to do with that sort of thing. Doesn't matter what master trooper it is. They're not. They're not. Whilst we work together, you don't tell them what to do. They don't tell us what to do. That's how the relationship works. We ask each other nicely to do things.
So, although you say that, it's still. It's difficult because we're being told one thing by PD, and we're being told one thing we're looking at our EMS going, we need to do this, and yet constantly EMS commanders get belittled and told off for it. So
I've never heard of this.
You guys are doing great.
Matthew, are you full of cold?
He's full of hay
No,
fever.
I've got hay fever.
So
It's all allergies.
What do we do?
I mean, no disrespect to PD or anything like that, but at the end of the day, this is EMS. We're not police officers, so it's kind of command's department, right? So we follow what they say, not what PD say.
Yeah, look,
When it
I
comes
think
to things that happen within the EMS.
I think we've also got to recognize as well that although we are two separate departments, we are very interconnected in more ways than we realize. So any feedback or concerns will definitely be taken on board. I can't promise or guarantee everything that is recommended will be implemented. But I would like to think we would at least look at a lot of the feedback and go, where is the common theme here and what is the root cause of the problem? And try and work something out. It could well be that there's nothing to it. It could just well be someone's perspective of an issue is wrong. And that's fine. That's just an educational issue. It could well be that they're actually onto something and we haven't actually given them enough credit for it. That's also possible. So, look, I think keep our ears open. Try to listen to what they're saying, not what we think they're saying, and try and see if there is a way forward or not. Because the last thing we want to do is basically put a sledgehammer to those relationships that we've built. And I realize it's also a two-way street. It needs to go the other way as well. And that's just something we'll need to continue working hard with. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd like to think we've got pretty decent relationships. There's a lot of troopers that I love, I like, get on really well with. It would be such a shame to have that relationship damaged in any means, way, or form.
Yeah, I do just want to clarify though, like, just because of what I said, that I don't mean that we shouldn't take anything on board of what they say.
No, of course not. No, I get what you're saying. You know, they don't run the department. But that doesn't mean what they have to say is any more or less valid, right?
Yeah, no. So like, if they recommend that we should double badge for a situation, we should definitely take that on board. But I think personally, the people ultimately should make that choice should be EMS command.
No,
Whether that goes
absolutely.
forward, you know.
But,
in the past, there were several consistent instances on a nearly daily basis where it would be required, and it was required. That's just how it is. When it's required, it's required, and there no ifs, ands, or buts from anyone outside of the department has any say in that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a situation
not even
that
the fucking Supreme Justice, you know, like they can't tell us to not to put our lives at risk for no reason, just because it'll make them feel better.
It's a situation that we closely monitor. If we feel that there is a serious, incredible threat, we will say, look, double badge where you can. If there is a surplus of staff on duty, we will say, look, double badge where you can. In fact, we would actively encourage it because it gets you to know your fellow colleague and builds those relationships. And also, it's a hell of a lot of fun.
It can be.
Yeah. God, the amount of times I've ridden with someone and they've been fearful for their lives. I mean, look. So yeah, I mean, case in point, you know, a lot of what Rizzo said there. Yes, it's the first time I'm hearing it, but those are also valid concerns, in my view. And you know, I'll get together with Ian and Shauna afterwards and kind of go through what steps we think we can take and where we need to go to the heads of and go, look, these are now hospital issues. What are your recommendations? Please help.
Yeah, because like he was just asking, you know, because he's never been on one of these.
Yeah,
and he doesn't know how things are done. And you know, he's gonna bring this back to his, you know, side and inform everybody, you know, what is going to happen. But it sounds like we don't even know ourselves just yet.
Everything's new. right?
It has been less
And-
than 12 hours in this instance, to be fair.
Yeah. Still working through all the chaos, but we will have answers very, very soon. And look, I am so incredibly grateful for Rizzo being here. It's great to have a PD presence in these things. It adds a lot of value, in my view. It provides another perspective that we otherwise wouldn't have had. So I don't know if Rizzo can still hear me, but I'm also incredibly thankful for him being here and having his
Love you,
feedback.
buddy, if you can hear us.
I don't think he can because it's through the doors.
Dang.
To try and circle all of this back, is there any other concerns or feedback that needs to be raised? Anything that
Yeah, I
people
was-
have been holding on to?
I was hoping to bring this up with a meeting we had, and it has to do with the thing I'm bringing up may have like legal ramifications, contradict our oath, but it has to do with like our safety. A couple of
Okay.
weeks ago, one of our staff was stabbed here, and then
Mm-hmm.
one of our staff resigned after firing the gun. Is there anything we can do to look into self-defense, or if staff is attacked in front of us? Because
So
we're kind of in a situation where we can't really
didn't we have
defend
this
ourselves or our
conversation
group.
already? Last
Have
meeting.
we?
We had this conversation. I think we've had the self-defense conversation, haven't we?
I can't remember, but
Yeah,
enlighten
I
me.
remember it on last meet. It was basically put on if it's like dire need, you can defend yourself, like
Yeah.
type
Mhm.
thing.
You should be defend. If you shoot someone in self-defense, you've shot someone in self-defense. You know, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
the
and
situation that
technic-
happened here was different.
Yeah. So I think. Now, I don't think this is true anymore because people fucked it up. But it used to be the case that you could also extend that self-defense to defense of your patient's life. But patient is not co-worker, regardless. I don't know if that's still a thing. I don't remember. Honestly, I'm not awake enough to. But if you individually can protect your life, other people's lives are, until they're your patient, are, you know, they have to protect themselves. And you would be covered by that, legally speaking, as well. Like, if someone's coming at you with a knife from a long distance and you shoot them, that is self-defense. That is not assault or ag assault or whatever. So you wouldn't catch, like, PD wouldn't come and arrest you for, or they might detain you and then be like, oh, I see. Or, like, there might be an investigation, but at the end of the day, you would, you know, it would be self-defense.
So yeah, look, I mean, 100% there's going to be an investigation on both ends. That is almost a certainty. To Tegan's point, I can't imagine any justice not throwing that out for self-defense, right? I can't see any justice persecuting someone for trying to defend themselves. It does become a bit of a tight line to walk, though, and I think that's just a warning to go out that it can very easily become manslaughter.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, like, the legal ramifications and how people will say it contradicts the oath that we had when we became EMS.
So the oath is, I think there's a, it doesn't work. It literally doesn't work. People, other paramedics in other places have to carry guns to protect themselves because they work in such dangerous places, right? They have to protect themselves and their patients.
Reminded me, I need another one. Medikitties.
But yeah, motor keys. The long and the short of it is, sorry, I completely derailed myself with the murder keys.
Sorry.
Being able to protect yourself, firearms, weapons.
Yeah. You have to protect yourself. It's just the way it is. You have to understand that just because you're an EMS doesn't mean that your life is less valuable than someone else's, you know?
So in most cases,
it's not any more valuable, but it's not, you know, any less. You should just be able to defend yourself.
in most cases in our city, we are very fortunate that people do not target us in that way. Rarely are we held up at a scene because someone is trying to get their friends from not going to jail. So we don't fall into that situation often.
You're not getting
other
random
than
bugs for drugs.
locals and murder kitties.
Also, typically when that does come up, by the time that the danger is apparent, you're no longer in a position to be able to take action
Yes.
Yeah.
anyway. Every time I've been shot on duty, there wasn't a circumstance where I could have tried to defend myself.
9 times out of 10, that's going to be the case. And I also want to stress the point, just because someone walks in the doors and has a firearm in their hand, that does not give you concrete permission to suddenly open fire on them.
I've remembered what my point was.
What was your
but,
point?
If you're gonna shoot someone, you better be damn sure that it's the right thing to do, and that's your judgment call
Yeah.
to make. And if you're wrong, and you just have to accept the consequences.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
we don't want to set a precedent where you can just whip your gun out at any time.
Yeah, preferably never. You know, preferably you
Yes.
never ever ever have to do it. But it's like that one time where you say you stood fucking in this office, or you stood in this office over here, and you see someone walking in like blacked out, gun raised, looking around for you. Then you have time to have your own gun out and are prepared. That's
We
like the
also
sort of
have
edge
time
case
to
we're
duck
talking
into
about.
the office and lock the door.
Yeah, that too. You have
Yeah.
many choices here. I forgot about that door. No, where I was trying to think of this like a good example where you can see someone coming. Oh, like last time we were in here when they came to tase people for promotions. I saw people coming through the back door over here, and obviously I could get the fuck out. But if getting the fuck out wouldn't be an option if they were like guns out.
Yeah.
The
So-
only problem I have with that is like if you're on scene and there's PD there, and for some reason people wanted to bust their friends out and start shooting at PD, you better not raise your gun because
Oh,
that
if
is
you-
not
Mm-mm.
your job. You get behind cover. You better make sure you try to protect yourself.
Yeah,
Because if you go down and try to be a hero, I don't have respect for you.
So,
no, that's
let me-
vigilantism at that point, but
Yes. So let me go through the hierarchy. First off, get yourself to safety. If that's not possible, and PD are on scene, try and get yourself to at least some cover if possible. Or if not, I guess you just stand still at that point. Basically, don't get in the way. If those options are not available to you and there is an immediate credible risk to your life, then yes, self-defense is acceptable and you won't be persecuted for it. But to Tegan's point, you better be bloody sure.
yeah, you don't do that on an impulse. You're making a conscious decision. It's not like something that's gonna. It's not like it's ever happening. And if it is happening to you, you've had time to think about it. Don't. It's not an emotional decision that you should be making. It's a logical decision.
Additionally, if you have a gun or a knife pointed to your head or your chest, please comply with all reasonable demands. You're
Yes.
not in a position to say otherwise.
Also, no, don't turn on your heel. If someone says the word gun and on you, just don't do that. Just accept it.
Yeah.
None of this. Or worse, this. Bad idea. That's just a bad idea in general.
Decent 95% chance you'll be shot anyway. So
100% chance you get shot if you do that to someone. Literally 100%. 10 out of 10 times I have seen it happen.
I say 95 because there might be a bad shot and there might miss.
And you're still getting shot at in that case.
Still getting shot at.
That's still 100.
Still 100.
Technically, you just didn't get hit.
Just didn't get
Semantics.
hit. Any further comments on that point?
Yeah, to make it, to put it back to the legal thing, there's no the legal protections that we would have are the same as any other citizen would have for defending themselves. Because at the end of the day, that is what we are. We're just citizens with the ability, with the medical knowledge of taking care of people.
I remember at one point where Vipers were around and they were taking us, right? Came to me specifically, if you feel like your life is in danger and you have to, shoot. Anybody gives you shit, for especially PD, for us to go to her directly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
She said
It's
she
a-
was
it's a funny
tired
thing.
to seeing us being sitting ducks, because we can't
There's
do
a-
anything.
it's a funny thing to talk about sides for this, but I feel like everyone involved, if you shoot someone in actual self-defense, unless it comes out that you're literally just getting your kicks by shooting people, or like you're doing it for some personal bullshit reason, the justice system would be on your side, because they're like, okay, yeah, we see how this was self-defense, because, you know, it's obvious. They came at me, they came at you. Like, if you stay here, if you shoot someone here who's trying to kidnap you, and you stay here and you give them medical treatment until the cops show up, you're like, hey, I had to shoot this person, they were trying to get me. They're probably going to be like, yeah, that makes sense, because you didn't just fucking leave.
So I guess the
There's a
key
lot of
thing in
things
any
you can do
court
to help your
case,
case if you do have to shoot someone.
the key thing in any court case is they need to build a narrative, and the narrative is going to become quickly crystal clear. So
you're gonna get your Augsburgs. You're gonna be like, this person's just wanted to be a police, and then you're like, I've never wanted to be a police officer in my life, so I don't know
that
what.
is also
I don't know how this
not your
works.
problem. Not your problem to worry about. You have a lawyer present that will defend you to the very hells of the earth.
Unless you're really unlucky like I was once.
We
You
will.
could get a bad lawyer.
I became EMS, I had a situation where I had to defend myself while I was a hostage, and the cops knew I was the hostage, and the cops shot me and then arrested me, and that's why I have a criminal use of a firearm charge on my record from back in, I think, April or March. One of those months in spring.
Anyway,
but there
circle
were no
all back.
lawyers awake at the time, so.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's unfortunate.
I didn't want to risk making things worse, so I just let it go since it was. They dropped it to a more minor charge than they were considering because they knew I was the hostage.
Yeah, that is the other thing. You might, depending on what actually happens, you might still catch a small charge for it for posterity's sake or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at that point there would have to be another conversation with, like, you know, as long as you get the full details and bring it to so the firing you because you did a crime is more of a suggestion than a hard rule in most cases, but like it's you know, there are certain
But it will go through a review. It's
yeah,
not
that's what
a.
I'm trying to say. It's not like an immediate you would get fired. Because, you know, it's at the end of the day, once again, it's no one else's decision but the command staff of the hospital's decision to let you go.
And I don't think that officer is still a cop anymore. I don't think they were a cop for much longer after that, actually.
Anyway, circle it all back. I think we've made our point. Was there anything else, or can we put a pin on this meeting? Because I'm very aware that we could go on for another 3 hours.
Absolutely cannot go on for another 3 hours.
I'm just going to ask one question. Obviously, if it's something you can answer somewhere else, it's fine. But I don't know if it's been mentioned before. I'm sure I've heard someone say about it. But will there be like a rapid response type thing at all, like a motorbike unit or something like that, or some kind of speed unit to be able to get to places faster at all?
Very, very doubtful.
Just it's a definite no for now. It's a no for the foreseeable future sort of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why we're supposed to be patrolling.
We go through this. We literally go through this. I feel like we went through this every damn month when I was command. Be like, hey, can this be a thing? No. Why? Because reasons.
Yeah. So the last time we talked about this, it was abused, and that's why it was never brought up again, and it was never used again. So right now at this point, it's no. Like I said, that's why we're supposed to be patrolling, not just stationing all day at the hospitals.
It's why your response time matters so much, because you know you are everyone is rapid response. Because you know we don't know when someone. I was saying this to Amber on a ride along yesterday. She's like, yeah, we can gauge our response time based on the sort of like notification we get, whereas every single medical you respond to or an 811 call you respond to could be somebody dying, so you know every response is a rapid response.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Alright.
I
Okay,
think
that's fair enough.
there's a lot of logistical issues with it as well, but I don't want to keep everyone here talking about it
Yes.
forever. 'Cause you'd end up with 2 units going to the same scene almost 100% of the time anyway. And I don't know if you could practically get there fast enough in the rapid response compared to the ambulances, because they're nothing in the city. It's not like the rapid response bike's gonna go like 180.
Well, I think it's dependent on the scene. If it's a mass casualty, there should be 2 units if we have
Oh,
available.
yeah. What I mean is like
Yeah.
I feel like it would just waste a lot of ambulance drivers' time following a rapid response unit to like a scraped knee. And they
Yeah.
get there and like pull up 2 minutes later, like, hey, how's it going? Oh yeah, we dealt with it. Oh, okay.
And if it was a rapid response bike going 180, we'd probably just end up in additional medical.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, it's definitely it's an idea that has some merits, but it also has a lot of there's a lot of counterbalance to the good idea of it.
All right.
And that's
I've
just
got-
personal opinion.
I've got 2 other topics before we close out. Was there anything else?
No, that's for me anyway.
Okay. I'll move on to our last 2 topics then. This is going to be a really, really quick one for this one. I just want to recognize one person in this room. That being said, you're all fantastic and I love you all unconditionally. So, look, I could do my usual bullshit, but I won't. Largely because I'm tired and don't have the energy for it. So I'm just going to come out and say it. So I just want to give a big congratulations to Matu for reaching TFTO.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Congratulations,
bro.
Wait,
Good job,
TFTO.
buddy. TF2.
Yeah.
Hey!
TF2 dead game.
Congratulations, Matthew.
No hats for
Oh,
Matthew.
thank you so much. It's going to really help
obviously-
try and get more people who are keen
Oh.
to.
That's crazy.
Okay, first of all, you get over your hay fever, and then we'll talk.
He's going comatose.
I need
Not
to
seeing
find
him
some
till
friggin'
next year.
tablets, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a fucking mucus cocoon in like 20 minutes.
Yes.
Some of us
I
aren't
do.
fortunate like you, my dude, who have got these fancy technologies.
Do worry about you, buddy. All right. To close us out, there's
Buddy.
a very, very important announcement, and I would like you to give your undevoted attention to Aya for the next 5-10 minutes, if you could, please.
Well, that's not pressurizing at all. Over the last 2, maybe 3 weeks, I've kind of lost sense of time. There's been a few events that have changed me. The latest being that we lost Sydney Bauer. She was killed. That happened last Saturday. That's had a huge impact on many people. Previous to that, I had a little bit of brain damage to my occipital lobe. And last Saturday, I'm not sure when, but I am under the impression that I may have accidentally hit my head, causing further damage to the occipital lobe. The results of that means that I am now officially legally blind, which means I cannot continue in the medical profession. It's unsafe. It's not practical. It's not going to help anyone. So today is my last day. I have to learn how to cope and adapt and live in a world where You're basically all just blobs at the moment in a grayscale. I'm not going to describe the blobs because some are thin, some are bigger. We're not going into that argument. But today is my last day. And I want to say thank you to those that have been supportive, and I want to say thank you to Blake and Shauna for kicking me up the ass when I needed to and correcting some of the mistakes and making sure that we're on the straight path. Every decision that we've made, I've always tried to take it through them. Ever since we were 3, and their opinion is so important, and their words. I want to thank Sonia for being the supportive person that she is. She's been a rock in many situations. And
Wait. What did I do?
being supportive, being a rock.
So that's me.
Yeah, I'm 100% it's you.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Swear to
dude,
God, if I have to
Harry,
come
you've
over
been
there
really
and force that
supportive.
compliment down your throat,
Oh,
Sonia,
come
so
here.
help me God.
Well, huh?
Look, we've had this conversation before, but we'll have it again. You've given a lot. You've helped this department in more ways than can possibly be counted. Your thoughts, your feedback, your unique perspectives have helped shape it to what it is today. I'd like to think we've come a long way. I mean, there's always going to be room for growth. There's always going to be room for improvement. But through your contributions and working closely with Shauna, I think we've created something and helped build something that's beyond fantastic. And while it's going to be sad and devastating having that loss, I'd also like to think that you're not that far away that we can't reach you at an arm's length if we ever need advice or support. So I'm sure Shauna would have her own way of wording this, but really from us both, thank you for everything.
Thank you.
You have a big legacy here, Aya. From me, the teaching, the opportunities you've given to me and to a lot of us here. Ngā mihi. That's way of us in New Zealand saying thank you. You've been a really awesome teacher to learn a lot of the medical profession. Hey, what a thought. I was the medicals that you guys would pick up, and now I'm here to help, the city pick up from their feet. And it's people like you who have helped me along the way.
Thank you. And I'm proud of every EMS that have come into the department and proud of what people have done. Thank you.
Anyone want to say anything else?
I want to say thank you to Aya. Her encouragement and all three of you really giving me direction and trusting me to do this job has taken something that I tried because I didn't know what to do and wanted to repay what a couple people had done for me by trying to do more of the same in their stead. and I didn't know if it could work, but it has, and I just want to say thank you for the encouragement and for guiding me.
Thank you, Kitty. I know there are some people in the department that will be probably more than glad to see the back of me, so.
Wait, what? You said somebody was going to be glad to see you gone? Wait, what?
I know that there are some people that don't agree with the way that I have done things, or agree with me in general, so I'm acknowledging that. They are a different opinion, and that's fine. That being said, I will be... X-ray 0 isn't a command sign, isn't a call sign that is primarily a command sign, it's a given call sign. I will be giving that to Shauna, but that does not mean that she is chief. That is a decision that will be made elsewhere. But I've appreciated Blake's and Shauna's help so much, and Skylar, before she left. And yeah, I'm so happy to have seen you all grow.
Okay. Is there anything else from anyone else, or can we draw this to a close? Okay. Well, thank you for coming. For those coming to the next meeting, it will probably be more the same. So anything said here shouldn't come as a surprise to the next meeting. But I just want to thank you all individually and collectively for everything that you've put in the department and everything you'll continue to put into the department going forward as well. Your collective efforts are what's keeping us going. So thank you again. All right, and with that, I call this meeting to a close. Now we do this all
so
awkward.
unbelievably shocked right now. Like, I have no words.
Always one of
I
us,
understand it's a lot to take in and a lot to process. So, like, if you guys need someone to speak to, myself and well, I can't speak for Shauna, but Shauna will speak for herself. But I'd like to think we would both be available if you ever need to come talk to us.
Yes, I won't be available for much longer today, but definitely tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll let you go about your days. I just also, well, I guess while you're all here, just want to add, have a safe holiday. For those with friends and family, please enjoy the time, be safe. Not everyone has the opportunity to enjoy the comfort with friends and family, so please make the most of it where you can. And I hope to see each and every one of you in the new year as well.
Hell yeah. Can't imagine working with a bunch of great peeps into the new year.
And I hope, Matu, we send you all a whole bunch of Lemsip and you enjoy that.
Please. Holy shit, man.
Just
I was
shove it in
feeling
his
good,
nose.
like,
He'll be
earlier
good.
today.
Yeah, just open the packet straight in the nose.
Oh my god. Just send him a box of tissues.
Stick him straight
Oh,
up there.
yeah.
A cart
the
of tissue, a
eucalyptus
carton of
ones.
like a whole
Oh my
like
God.
thing of tissues.
I'll have
Oh,
a
yeah,
full
give me the
truck full for
eucalyptus
you,
ones.
mate.
Yes.
I'll have a truck delivered to
You
you full
needing
of
a ride home?
tissues.
Thank you.
I might try walking.
Just on a side question,
You
sure that's
I've
wise?
asked multiple people. I've not actually had a
I've got to learn.
response yet. Am I
Okay.
able to apply
Look,
or
I'm not
start
going to know your finesse
learning
on you,
to
but you
do
know what
the
I mean.
FTO stuff?
I know.
Do you have
Okay.
somebody that can be with you?
We've had this conversation before, and it didn't go down too well, so I'm not going to fight it.
Who that would be, depending on when you are typically around.
Okay.
Now that Matsu
You
is a
send me a text
TFTO,
message when you get there.
you can
Okay.
shadow him.
Right.
Alright. That way, if I don't hear anything from you, I know to send out the
Ella,
rescue
but I
party.
don't think she's going to be around.
I mean, I remember like a few weeks back, I was talking
Alright,
to Ellen,
and
and she turned around
like
and said
before,
that she was
just call me if
waiting
anything happens,
for
alright?
affirmation, like for you guys to accept or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. Like to actually go through and stuff. I did shadow her quite a lot, and I helped her out with a few trainings and stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically what it is. So anybody who's a TFTO, you can go with them, and you can shadow them,
Anytime.
and they will show you everything you need to know.
Thank you,
And then
Sonia.
basically, what they'll do is they'll flip it. So
Take
you'll
a
be the one
compliment.
doing the training, and then they will.
How about we step outside and we can? I may think about it.
Let us know that you were interested, and then.
Actually, can I pick you up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm definitely interested.
Open the
There's a tree in the way. I think because I felt bristles on my butt.
God. Yo, that is a fire hazard, man. Why didn't you tell me it was this bad?
I've been trying to recover, and then Sydney, and then
I didn't even know Sydney passed away.
it's her funeral tomorrow.
When?
Let me think. Sorry. 3 p.m. Eastern Los
Eastern?
Santos.
Okay. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Let's not go on the ice.
Thank you for all you've done.
I mean, I have you to thank. There's a reason why I took your badge number. You've taught me a lot. You taught me the things I need to know and things I don't. I shouldn't do. It's like how I tell everybody when I teach. I have a flame and I'm willing enough to lend my flame to the next generation, and I hope you guys use it wisely. You're a part of that flame. You're the one who kept on feeling that flame.
I'm glad.
I just wish it didn't have to be this bad. There's no way we can get you specialists at Liberty, somewhere else.
BJ is working with Lilith because Lilith was doing all the treatment. He's going to talk to some neurologists, see if that will help, but honestly, I don't know.
I feel like stress for everything with EMS and what's going on with the family. Of course, all the fucking creeps that keep on taking you.
Part of this is down to a creep. It's down to Callista.
I feel like all that stress is just not letting you heal properly, you know?
Well, there's
Sure, you can have...
there's someone targeting the family, hurting people.
The Sahara Men's?
Yeah.
But just you, like anybody that is in that group in general.
Anyone that's in that group in general.
Does
They
PD
attacked-
know about it?
Yeah, they attacked Allah yesterday, I believe, and to the point where Allah's got a damaged eye. It may be saved with an optical nerve. If an optical nerve is fine, that's fine. That should be okay. But there is somebody.
Is it just one person or multiple? I'm not sure yet.
I'm 85%, 90% sure it's just this one person. It's either this person or somebody called Rudy. I don't think it's Rudy.
Is that the same Rudy that is going after River?
I'm not sure.
Because I know she mentioned a couple of names that 2 different type of people are coming after her for no apparent reason.
Oh, one may have been Steve.
Yes, one was Steve. Another name, I think she gave that another name or she wasn't too sure.
I don't believe it to be Rudy.
Okay. I don't. I don't know why you guys can't have a break. It's literally fucking mentally insane. I don't understand.
It's... Yeah. And I do know there are some people in EMS that will be happy to see me go.
But why? You know?
I don't know. I just know that they'll be happy to see me go. And I will apologize to Rizzo. I did not mean... I spoke frankly. Not with the same civility I know... Not with the same... courteous that I normally do.
He feels like right now, because I've been with him, I've been trying to help him, and we gotten pretty close. He feels like nobody listens to him. He was just asking a question, and I think he thought it was just gonna turn into a problem. Because I know what he's saying, because I expressed my feelings about it plenty of times.
We just don't want to gatekeep doctors, and we don't want to keep EMS.
Right. But the thing is, right, during these time, I don't see the logic, common sense of why they need to be all the way up in Polito or Sandy and not be on the radio, right?
That would be a doctor.
I know.
That will also be doctors.
I know. Well, I know what my problem is. I can't get on the radio. But I can literally not turn it on. It's been like this for like 3 days. I have placed my concerns with the radio company, and nobody has really gotten back to me about it. I can't turn it on. So Rizzo has been there because I've been the only EMS on duty during the wee mornings.
Part of it was also because there are some EMS who refuse to patrol when they're the solo EMS.
That's the shit that drives me fucking crazy. Like, if they haven't already, right? I asked them like, "Oh, how long you been standing here?" "Well, quite a while." "Have you done patrols?" "No, there's nothing going on." "Get your ass out there." "Why?" I don't care. Why? Get your ass out there.
I mean, you know, one of those EMS.
I was drinking that night. What's his who was it?
No, one of those EMS was there at the meeting.
Tegan?
You're saying the name, not me.
Ah. Maybe I know I've seen him going out on patrol. Actually, he patrols more than I do.
He tends not to do it when he's the solo EMS.
Oh, with me, I do the same thing. If I'm the only EMS, and people are waking up and going straight to Central, I see no point of patrolling.
Oh no, it's not even if people are coming to Central.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that needs to get addressed. I love Tegan. He needs to understand that there's a time. Go around to your mech shops. Get your Ambro fixed, checked out, properly checked, you know, oil change. Hey, by the way, I'm here. Would you like medical treatment?
It's
If
not even
not, just-
going out to mechanic hubs in the city.
Oh. But I'm just saying, like, it's nice to strengthen that community support.
Yeah, I agree. Just... he's mentioned it to me a few times. And then I'm expected, when I got on duty, I had to patrol because he was not.
I mean, I love you, right? But that's where you're at fault. You should have told him. I'm your boss, then you get out there and do it.
I did. This is an issue that happens when I'm off duty. As well as on. And I'm not sure how bad it's got in the last 2-3 weeks.
Well, I can tell you let's see. This is the first I've seen him in a week or two.
Okay.
I haven't much been on duty. I think this last week, I have been more active on duty. Because there hasn't been any EMS nor med staff. If there's no med staff, then I feel like I don't have to. Especially, I've been going underneath a lot of stuff, a lot of stress, and if I feel like I don't have to, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do what I used to do. But if there's nobody on duty, then I'm going to just suck it up and do what I can to help.
And I'm not saying that I was the perfect person. I'm far from it.
Oh, I'm not saying you are. I'm not. You know where your at faults are. Look, I've always told this to people, right? You're human, just like me. I hope.
Last time I checked, I was.
Okay. But the thing is, you're allowed to make mistakes. It's what you do with those mistakes later on. Either you choose to learn from them or not. And if you don't, then you're going to have to suffer the consequences when it comes to that. But that's something you are going to have to live with. That's what people need to fucking understand.
Oh, you also know the trooper who was, saying
Hearts.
that, yep. And why, although they're saying that it's a master trooper, he has so much influence.
Well, I mean, you should have just told Rizzo. I don't know why you're hiding. Like, you should have you should pull Rizzo aside and tell him who said that. He would take it up. Because there has been shit that he has done, and he would literally step in front and said that's not fair. When I have that a night, when I was the only one, there was like multiple medicals, and one of the PD cops said, "Hey, are you gonna come down here to this medical or not?" And he says, "When did you just call her?" And he's about 2 minutes ago. He says, "Give her fucking time."
I'm glad to see Rizzo stepping up to doing that.
he doesn't. He does not. If there's problems, he would like to heal them. But Rizzle is not Tarts. Rizzle is not Bryce. That's the problem, right? You probably tell Tarts and Tarts won't even go and tell Bryce. You tell these Edo troopers that won't even probably take it up to command, like, oh, I'm gonna do it, or forget because something happens and they forget to bring it up to command. That's why I say, like, you go to an officer that you can absolutely trust, that will take your considerations or things that have happened, and they will bring it up to command. I stopped going to Tarts when it comes to problems.
That's no
I
point.
go to Rizzle. I've gone to Gibson. I've gone to, there was somebody else.
I understand what you mean, and right now my head's not in the right space.
Well, yeah, because you lost somebody you care about very much. Extended part of your family, even though they weren't blood, but still. Or more family than your actual family was.
So I think I will apologize to Rizzo. I don't think he realized how much that went on from certain people within SCSB.
He has no idea. That's why I brought him to the meeting, because he has seen some of the stuff that I had to put up with. Just like those stuff that he has taken me on ride-alongs, stuff that I never knew that they had to put up with. And it has opened my eyes widen more than I've had in a really long time. Because Rizzo cares about you, because you were there to help him through some dark times. And he feels bad that nobody can go to him because people think that he's not going to get things done. And whatever he says doesn't matter.
Check your emails.
Yeah. Yeah. It either is one or it's a local. You have a gun?
You expect me to be able to aim to shoot it?
Listen, I almost got shot by Rizzle the other day, so it's fine. I'm actually gonna check it out.
Okay.
Give me a moment. Might be a local.
It was just a
No.
really little bit of a stark white over there, and I couldn't figure out what it was.
Oh. Yeah, oh no, we're good.
I can't see the stark little bit of white against the blackness, but So I'm assuming you sorted it.
Would you think I would have done that?
Do I want to know what was over there? Do I really want to know?
Listen, all I gotta say is I got protective instincts and I protect. Sonya protects, man. And to be honest, I don't blame you for being cautious, especially everything that has happened to you. If you wasn't, then I would say something's definitely wrong with you then.
Yeah, it's called brain damage and having no eyesight.
I mean, you got a key sense of, senses. You know what they say when people go blind? The other senses, spike.
See, that's... You become more in tune.
Yes. You felt bad vibes. You didn't even know what it was. It's fine. Listen, I'm starting to think there's definitely something wrong with me, but...
All I can say is thank you for all that you've done and all your work and all your support as well.
I guess my problem, right, is I feel like I don't do nearly enough. I don't know, I feel like I try to compare myself to everybody else, and I see everybody what they have done, all the hard work. When I was deputy, I felt like I was always on the bottom, and I did what I could to support and strengthen. But you guys did everything. You, Shauna, Blake, Sky, all the paperwork and everything that needed to be done, the meetings with PD and everything, and it's just like, I feel like stuff that I never could ever do. Maybe that's why I just don't take well to compliments. Like I'm always gonna be there for you, right?
Yeah.
'Cause I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like of somebody not being there. It hurts when I see people can't do the same thing. Just simple act of kindness can go a long way. Or just people just being there for each other.
I still want to say thank you.
Oh, thank you for everything you have done for us. I mean it when I say I wish it had to come to this.
Should probably start heading home.
Oh. Okay. Back to the center we go. Picks up gently. Even though I should have warned you before I picking you up. Like, who's touching me?
It's the new normal.
I don't know about you, but I don't like being touched if I don't know it's coming.
I mean, it was startling, but at the same time, I am aware that people aren't going to realize what's going to happen next. Like, they're not aware that I may need that announcing to me, and even if they are aware, they may forget, and I need to take that.
Well, I'm glad I wish you didn't have to leave, but I understand why. And I hope the time that you are away, you can better yourself and heal, and hopefully the other people will be able to help you so you can see.
I hope so.
So, please, and I can't stress this enough. If you need me, please contact me.
I will. I
Okay.
promise. I'm gonna ask for a lift home.
Okay.
Really good to hear what you have to say.
I usually don't. I just want to ask questions. But I said, whatever happens, happens. It is what it is. Like, I just want to put 2 cents into things. If I get, and if I come off like an asshole or I'm coming in high, I expect to be told, like, hey, chill the fuck out. Like,
Mizzo, chill the fuck out. I would call him on this bullshit and he knows it. Like, I got a leash. Gotta put it on there. Chill.
Bombshell. Catch you later, Rizzo.
I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
Hey, I thought you were going to bed.
Tonya wanted to speak to me.
I see.
Could I get a lift to the lighthouse?
Yes, of course you can.
Is Rizzo still around?
He is. He's right in front of you. You can probably hear him.
I'd like to speak to him briefly.
Okay. Do you want me to bring him over?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So I wanted to have a quick word.
I apologize for my frankness earlier in the meeting.
you don't have to apologize. You said what you said. It is what it is.
I can still apologize for how frank I was.
It's okay. I mean, I get the frustrations and everything like that. We try our best to work, but it's like, it's one of those things where I just explained to them. It's like all I really wanted to do was just ask a question and put a 2 cents in, and that was it. I don't expect to like catch super heat over just saying words.
That's
And
why
I get it. Miscoms are a fucking thing apparently, and nobody wants to fucking talk to each other. But it's like, hey, like maybe how can we do something about this, and what can be done? And just a simple answer. That's it. Like I'm not sitting here trying to sound like an asshole either. And I was just genuinely curious to see what could be done.
I'm hoping that things can be done. This is my last day.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I am officially legally blind.
Yeah, no, I've already made a complaint to the radio.
Okay, how legally blind on a scale of 1 to 10?
You are a grey blob, fading very much into darkness. You have no shape.
We can still kind of see surroundings.
They're very, very blurred into one another.
Oh, it's something. Is it curable?
It's brain damage.
So is it curable?
BJ's looking at things, but so far everything is... I might be able to gain some sort of more shapy shapes in the future. Maybe some color, but I don't know.
I'll tell you this much, she's really shit at charades.
True. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I am.
That's fine. But
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all good.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. The only reason why I walked out is I explained it to them, but I've been dealing with a lot of me just asking a question and putting an opinion and shit just blowing up like that, and I don't want to be a part of that.
That's fine. I still wanted to apologize.
I got you. You're fine. You're honestly fine.
Because some of the frustrations that you probably feel are the same ones that I've been feeling for weeks. Right down to troopers telling us that we can't double badge.
Doesn't make any sense. And my thing with the whole thing is like there's two ways of going about double badging, right? There's the EMS way where we sit in the ambulance and we're central and wait for a medical, or we do the police way, do in between calls. If a medical or anything of the sort shows up, we pull off and we go right to the medical. It's more of a fact of like people want to stay preoccupied, right? And yeah, there's chitter chatter here and there with in the ambo and everything like that. The issue is like a lot of us troopers, we're out here want to do shit. And with me, like my attention span is like.
So what the fuck?
It's more the case that it was EMS being, or even to go into medicals, it was EMS being taken straight from the street.
Swim up.
Alright.
So double badging was there to help people.
Which, I mean, if EMS, I don't agree with that because like I do it with Sonya. I've seen EMS do double badges with other people before. Like it doesn't. I don't see why it's an issue.
Yeah, but according to this, it was. And in the end, it turned out to be a complete prank. But we were told that we were supposed to ask the PD if we ever wanted to double badge.
Yeah, and it's a lot of times too. I can only see the issue why it wouldn't be a good idea is the fact that troopers get in a shootout a lot, too. So maybe trying to keep EMS out of harm's way and catching a bullet, but at the same time, that's why I branded myself as Combat Meta 1.
EMS.
Yeah, mate, just give us like a, vest and a gun. Be tactical medics. Be fun. Be great.
Right.
Nothing could possibly go wrong from that, right?
I mean, it was EMS double badging with EMS, so it wasn't even like there was a PD. It was taking away resources for PD.
Right. Oh. They're saying double badging in general is stupid for EMS.
Yes.
That's what he said. Okay, no, that makes no fucking sense. Like, I can see if the triple and the quad badge is a little much, in my opinion. Well, and then again, but you guys are training EMRs and shit, so that's fine. But double badging, I don't. It's a bit of a weird way of doing things. Go ahead, though, Aya.
So those are just some of the frustrations that I've felt completely and utterly. And then also being blamed for receiving doctor problems as EMS because everyone calls them EMS.
Yeah, those two separate departments. And I don't... The two issues I got with this, right, is that, one, double badging, right, who we shouldn't be able to. We shouldn't tell you how to
Right,
do,
yeah, good luck with that, bro.
do your job.
Have a good one. All be safe. All love you all.
Thanks, guys. Happy holidays. Be
Not sure what
safe.
else to you again, but take care, Aya.
Thank you, Matsu.
And please do stay in touch. It'll always be good to hear from you and see how you're doing.
Thank you.
If you excuse me, I'm gonna try and sleep in my car because I can't bother making it to the city. Oh, there's a Christmas tree.
Squirrel.
Sorry, I just got distracted by that very bright tree.
Ooh, shiny.
Go and rest, Matsu.
Alright, take it easy, guys.
Bye.
I'm gonna head back to my apartment, try and get some more sleep. Y'all stay safe.
Thanks, Skinny.
Why are we telling you how to? Oh, you mentioned double badge general. Like what? Like first of all, where do we
Excuse me, I
have?
forgot I actually took my car here.
Where do we have the balls to even say to tell you how to do your job and tell you to do what you want? Like you guys have your own things of doing things. We have our own things of doing things. It shouldn't be a fucking problem. If it is, it should be brought up in meetings like this, or like I was saying, we need a DOJ and EMS and PD meeting, or LSMS, sorry, meeting, and air frustrations out. So that's one issue. The second issue is, I totally forgot the second issue, fuck.
It's fine.
It's what it's always been, right, Rizzo? It's just communication, and it sucks.
Yeah, and it's shit communication, and I don't, I've been trying to figure out for the longest why communication has been so fucking shit lately.
We've been trying to figure this out for the last 2 years, and we still haven't got an answer for you.
Well,
I can reach out to every EMS every 2 weeks, which I did. I reached out to every EMS every 2 weeks unless I saw them. Told them, here's my number. This is who I am. If you've got any problems, please contact me. And I'm hoping that you're enjoying where you are. And yet somebody still reveals yesterday that they were unhappy and they have no idea. And that they've had these problems for months.
Yeah, well, it's just, it goes along the way of what I said earlier too. It's like people don't fucking talk to each other, and when they do, they have a bitch fit about it instead of taking criticism or just opinions about it. I don't have time to play with bullshit egos.
Yeah, preaching to the choir, buddy.
It's either like you go to a person, you ask them, hey, why did you make this call, or why did you do what you do, and just give a simple answer, and then just go, well, I think maybe you should have done this. Okay, then there's the discussion.
Yeah.
Not, oh, fuck you, I'll do what I want, or why are you
Okay,
questioning my authority?
Made a bad judgment call. This is how we go about it next time. And yeah. Any questions?
That and just fucking people just need to talk to each other and not just it's the egos. It's the egos. I don't.
It is.
Yeah.
It's people working against each other, not with each other, and it frustrates us all the time. And the only thing that we can really think of doing is telling people to literally just grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
And if you've got a problem, leave the department.
Anyway, I need to go home. I feel like a nurse is
ride?
coming out to give a booster jab.
You need a ride somewhere?
Just to the lighthouse.
Okay, let me pull out the car then.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you letting me sit through that. By the way.
No, you're always welcome. Always welcome, buddy.
I wanted to apologize for how frank I was.
That's okay. Hey, at least you apologize. There's plenty of people that wouldn't. Alright, so Rizzo's going to be down these stairs.
And where
So
are
you
the
wanna take a
stairs
few-
to Iron?
They're right in front of you, so you want to take a few cautious steps.
Hang on. I'll carry her. Just give me a sec.
You know what? Why don't I just do that? Can I carry you to the car?
Yes, you can.
I keep forgetting this is an option that I can do. There we go. All right, I'm gonna put you. What do you want to ride, shotgun or backseat?
I don't mind.
Okay, we'll put you shotgun. Okay, and I'll be right behind you.
Thank you.
No, apparently I'm gonna raid this strong.
Who's that?
And you're being raided by.
Who's that?
Spears.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Shouldn't do that,
Okay.
Spears. You will give her a heart attack.
I can't see.
Okay.
Oh. I didn't know.
No, it's fine. I need to.
Things are a bit scary right now.
I need.
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah,
head home. I will be back around in about an hour. I just need to head home. Like
Now.
yes,
Now.
yes.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm picking you up, Aya. Don't get any
Thank you.
ideas.
Well, there feels like there's multiple bags.
Oh, that's. You want to drive?
Don't-
Wait.
I can, I guess. If you allow me.
Let me put the key in at least.
No, that probably would help.
Oh my god, please. Hold on. There you go, you're good.
Oh. Are we going code 3s, code 2s, seeing as I need to get there in a hurry? Jesus, this thing drifts like fucking crazy in the snow.
Code 3 is fine.
We end up in the sea, Blake. I know exactly who is driving.
Look, I'm not that bad, okay?
No.
Also my first time driving this, so, you know, a little leeway would be appreciated.
You know, I think honestly, EMS needs, what do you call it? Chargers or something. You go straight.
Ow.
So.
Yeah, well, you know, getting used to the turns and slowing down. Slowing down's important too, you know?
Puts Aya seatbelt on.
I already found it. I
Oh, okay.
can remember where that is, so I can reach up for it.
Okay.
What
Wow.
was that?
What?
That's nothing.
It was nothing. Okay.
I thought I, okay, that's fine. No, I just said wow because I thought we were about to crash and apparently
What's up, sorry?
trees are fake.
Is everything okay, buddy?
Yeah, everything's good.
Alright, here we are.
I will carry her to the door.
Oh,
I just need
what a
carrying
gentleman.
to the porch.
I'll carry her to her room of wherever. We'll
Thank
tuck
you.
her in. I will fluff her pillow. Leave a cup of tea out for her.
Okay, we're heading inside, Aya.
Thank you. I
Thank you,
should.
Rizzo.
Where's your bedroom?
It's top of the stairs. Not the one on the left, not the one on the right. It's far back.
Like straight? With the dark looming
Yes.
room?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, if it's right.
Ironically, it's very helpful right now. Thank
All
you.
right,
Rizzo.
I will tuck your blankets in for you.
I feel like that's going to cause problems.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night, Aya.
Yeah.
Night.
Thank you, Rizzo.
Yes. Yes. Do you live here too?
He has a room in the basement.